Welcome to part 3 of my walkthrough for The Struggle, my friends. This is an S rank walkthrough. This is the third chapter of this episode, and during this chapter it's essentially a stealth mission where we can't be detected by any enemies. If we get detected by a single enemy, we have 30 seconds to get out of the village, and if we don't manage to get out of the village in that time, then it will be an automatic game over and we'll have to use the ration to retry or just start over the entire game, which I don't think most of you would want to do. So we do need to be very careful. This chapter might seem fairly simple at first, but it can actually be pretty unfair. You see, sometimes you might think that you're not in the line of sight of the revenants. In fact, sometimes they might have their back turned on you, and if you move too close to them too fast, or if they turn to the side, they don't even have to turn their back, but they can just turn to the side, they will be able to spot Moira, and it will be very troublesome because you'll have 30 seconds, like I said, to get out of the village, or you'll just have to restart everything from the beginning. So do be very careful. I actually think that of all the chapters, this one is the hardest, because any false moves and you're essentially screwed. So yeah, we do need to be very careful. We've already collected the magnum and we switched it with the flashlight. We won't need the flashlight anymore, so might as well dispose of it. And now I'm going to get another machine gun, but I'm actually going to keep my original machine gun. I'm going to dispose of the handgun since I won't need it.
Shit, are you getting worse? Need some water?
Save water for washing your mouth out with soap.
As you can see, I'm stocking on quite a lot of items. So I don't need any more handgun ammunition, and there we go. We got the assault rifle, the AK-47. But like I said, I'm going to keep both these weapons because in the next chapter, when we have to deal with a bunch of enemies yet again at the same time, they are going to come in handy, as opposed to the handgun, who really, you won't need it anymore, so might as well get rid of it. There's quite a few items for us to pick up in this chapter. In fact, in this chapter really what we're going to do is gather supplies so that we can prepare ourselves for the final chapter of the game. So if you've managed to reach this area so far, and you're doing pretty good, but like I said, remember that unfortunately with the struggle, if you mess up even just once and you don't feel like retrying because that will affect your rank, then you might have to start the game, or you will have to start the game from the start. And it can be a little bit annoying sometimes if you're like on the last chapter or even on the third chapter and you die or something, and then you have to replay everything from the start. It can be frustrating. No wonder they call this chapter The Struggle, but really when you think about it, it's not so much that it's a struggle, it's just that it's annoying. So it can be a very frustrating experience, these chapters, but we'll manage. There's one last revenant that's actually a pain in this area, but first let's take care of the extra one. There are 3 more revenants for us to dispose of, if memory serves me right. I don't need handgun ammunition. Not anymore. Be very careful here because there's a revenant inside this building, and sometimes the bastard actually is already popping out by the time you reach this building, and he doesn't even have to completely step out, he will still spot Moira, and yeah, then you'll have to make a run for it. At this point it wouldn't be a big problem because I already collected both the Magnum and the AK-47, so really if I wanted I could just move to the exit of the village and be fine. but there are quite a few more items for us to pick up, so we're going to get those first. This guy will only turn around once he reaches the end of the house, so you have more than enough time to stealth kill him. Now there's a few more bottles here, and you've noticed, I'm sure, that I'm saving up all of my bottles, and that's for the final area. Again, those incendiary bottles or firebomb bottles, whatever you want to call them, and the explosive bottles are really going to come in handy for the final fights that we have to endure in this episode. Now, am I missing something here? I think I already picked up the bottle here. I actually forgot, but yeah, I picked it up, otherwise it would have been there. So let's clear the last section. Be very careful here. There's another enemy. So we're going to wait here. He has his back turned, but I wouldn't have enough time to reach him. So wait for it to come all the way up. Then turn back around, and when he turns back around, we're going to stab him. Yes, I know that it requires a little bit of patience, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And if you run at him with him facing towards you, then that's not good, because you'll have to run away from the village. And an annoying thing about this chapter is that you can even kill the revenant that's following you and that spotted you, and it still won't stop the 30-second counter, so you will still need to move to the exit of the village. And yeah, that can be really frustrating. I don't need that much, but oh well. So let's go into the last house now. There's one more enemy here though, and this one is really annoying. Even though, to be fair, at this point you're good. Even if the enemy spots you, considering he's the last one, assuming you follow this path, you can still make your way towards the exit of the village and you'll be good. So don't worry too much if that guy spots you, because we've cleared out all the houses and I really don't need any more herbs or anything. But you see, I have so many items simply because really during chapter 2, whenever I could, I used my crowbar to dispose of the weaker enemies. And that's really the difference maker here. So that guy is going away, and I think we can make a run for it now. Always be very careful with that last one. He seems to be able to spot you out of the blue, so don't even risk it, don't even approach him. And now we're going out of the village, and this is going to conclude this chapter, my friends. The next segment is going to be the last of this episode. I hope you're finding it useful. So that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later for the last part. Take care.
Better head back.
Mixed in with the supplies, we found a document. It was a list of islanders who had been taken away to the mines to become test subjects. When the old man saw it, his face turned white as a sheet. "Irina," he whispered. It was one of the names on the list. I found out later that Irina was his missing daughter. The old man changed once he picked up his daughter's trail. Can't blame him. Fathers are built to worry. I should have figured that out about my own dad a little sooner and cut him some slack. It was weird that I knew Irina's name, but the old man refused to tell me his. I think he was scared, you know, of losing something else. So I did him a favor and never told him my name either. Groshka was good enough. But deep down, I wanted him to ask. I didn't believe we would find his daughter, but it hurt that he tried so hard to be alone.